here we are, and there you are, and thank you very much for being with us. It is a Tuesday morning. It's the 28th of the month, and I hope you had a nice Memorial Day yesterday. It was, here we are starting our week off on a Tuesday. We had the day off yesterday.
Yes, we did. I hope everyone had an opportunity to think about what Memorial Day really is, what the true meaning is, and I hope you spent it with your family and remembered those that have served and have passed.
Yes, indeed. And if you had a moment to go to a cemetery and perhaps place a flag on a gravesite, well, thank you very much for doing that. It's a wonderful thing to do.
Yes, it is.
All right, on today's program. Who's on today's program?
Yes, on today's program is the introduction of our new Public Works Director, Jose Martinez.
Oh, okay.
It is a great interview, and he tells a little bit about where he came from, his history, and what he hopes to do here in his move at Goldsboro.
You know what? This is a really sharp guy. He is he's smart.
Yeah, you're going to hear a lot more about those smarts.
I'm telling you, he's smart, and I think he's going to do a great job for the city of Goldsboro.
We think so too, and I tell you, he's a big Wolfpack fan.
Yeah, what's that all about?
You'll have to hear all about that in his interview.
Yeah.
We also have someone here, a nurse, who came from Wayne Memorial Hospital to talk about strokes.
Cheryl Dobson.
That's right. Cheryl Dobson is here to talk about the prevention of strokes and a lot of opportunities that Wayne Memorial Hospital offers for stroke victims and their families.
Anyway, that's just a couple or three of the guests with us today, and it's a full show.
It is. There's another one, but you'll have to wait and see who that is and what it's all about.
Oh, okay, I'll wait.
You'll wait?
I'll wait. Okay. Okay.
Yep, there we go.
There we go. All right.
Moving on.
Moving on. Here we go. Day after tomorrow, well, actually tomorrow night at the Wayne County Public Library, Dr. Fries is going to be in town.
Oh, yeah, that's tomorrow.
Dr. Frederick J. Fries is a former Marine. He is now an internationally known psychologist. And the thing about it is that when he was a Marine, he also was diagnosed with schizophrenia. And he's going to talk about that. He's going to talk about, his topic is coping with mental illness. He will present an interesting program, and I do hope you're able to attend. This is at the library tomorrow evening at 5:30. Dr. Frederick Fries, internationally known psychologist. It's absolutely free. There you go. You knew that. But you have to tell people. It's free.
To tell people, that's right.
It's free and open to anybody who wants to go and watch and listen.
We invite you to come out and see what it's all about.
It's at the library. And then Thursday. Thursday's a big day at the Wayne County Museum on North William Street.
That's right.
At the museum, beginning at 5:30, a big fundraiser for the Mental Health Association of Wayne County. Mental Health Association of Wayne County kind of didn't completely go away, but it was just kind of
on the back burner for a little while.
On the back burner for a while, yeah.
Simmering.
And Jim Slewinski came in. We talked about this for a while, but he reminds us about this event that's coming up at the museum Thursday of this week, beginning at 5:30, with a big reception for contributors featuring music by Samantha Casey and her dad, Daniel. Oh boy.
That's right.
That's gonna
Great
be a big
local
event.
music.
It is. And then right after that, beginning at 7 o'clock, 50 years of mental health services. 50 years of Mental Health Association of Wayne County been operating and working, advocating for the mentally ill and those with issues of mental health. So you'll be able to find out all about this. And for so many years, the issue of mental illness was a stigma, unfairly applied to so many people. It's a stigma that's just, people don't understand it. They just don't understand it. It's not the boogeyman. You have to understand what mental illness is. You do, because there's a good chance that there's someone in your own family who has a problem with a mental illness. And I'm not talking about the rubber room, and I'm not talking about the straitjackets and that sort of thing. Those are extreme cases. There are all sorts of mental illnesses and different degrees of mental illnesses, everything from mild depression to everything, everything imaginable. So you can't just say mental illness is something that is specific. It's varied. It covers so many different areas, and there's so many different kinds of mental illness. So I want you to go to the museum and look at this display and look at what the Mental Health Association of Wayne County has been doing and done for so many years. It's a wonderful organization, and they need help. They need your help, and you can easily help. it's a good thing to become involved with. So I hope you're able to go to the Wayne County Museum Thursday evening, beginning at 5:30, and then again at 7 o'clock. And lots of food, entertainment, and lots of great information.
And also tomorrow is the farmers market right there at Herman Park. And listen to some of the fresh things that they'll have. They'll have fresh eggs.
Eggs?
Eggs, yes. This year they have fresh local
How do you
eggs.
grow eggs?
Vegetables, starter gardens, handmade crafts and arts, and the list goes on. And that's all tomorrow at Herman Park on the Herman Street side of Herman Park. You'll see them. I mean, you'll see the beautiful plants hanging.
Oh, yeah.
You'll see so many different vendors, and the list has grown. It's gotten so huge. So we want to invite you out tomorrow to support our local farmers and local artists at the farmers market tomorrow at Herman Park.
I love that. I love the farmers market.
Well, Mark Wilson, has gone out and interviewed some of the local vendors, and it's amazing to me how that farmers market has continued to grow through the summer, from last summer to this summer, and it's getting bigger and bigger. And we appreciate you local folks that are participating and being a vendor and or a customer.
I love the farmers market.
We'll have to go back out and visit them sometime soon.
Can we do that?
We certainly can.
Oh, boy.
And then on Fridays, they have the plum tree
That's right.
farmers market over on George Street.
On George Street.
That's right. So you have two different opportunities to support our local farmers and craftsmen.
That's right. That's exactly right. The last time I was at Plumtree, Tim Norris was out there with his display and with his worms. He's a worm grower. He's a vermicologist, and that's a fascinating topic to me. So anyway, that's at Plumtree Gardens, which is North George Street. That's Joanne Lesak, isn't it?
That's exactly right.
And it's not enormous, but there's enough there that you could, oh boy, just dive right in. And there was a fellow there with pottery.
Oh, yes.
There was Tim was there with his worms. There was a lady there with the balms and the aroma
homemade soaps
and soaps. And then, of course, there were the veggies.
And jellies, homemade jellies,
oh,
and jams.
Yeah, jellies and jams. Oh my. And baskets and all. Boy,
you should go check it out yourself.
Check it out yourself.
That one's on Fridays.
Fridays only.
And then the one at Herman Park is on Wednesdays.
Wednesdays. There you go. Okay, what you got?
Well, I want to remind everybody, this Thursday is the second Center Street Jam.
Oh boy, okay.
And it is a military appreciation Center Street Jam.
Thank you.
So we want you to come out, listen to the Dickens Band, listen to good music. Have you not heard of them?
The Dickens Band.
That's right.
No, I can't
well, come
say
see
I
for
have.
yourself.
Okay.
Come
I do
see
have
for
great
yourself.
expectations that they're going to be.
I feel quite sure. They'll be great.
All right.
And we'll have a small little ceremony, like I said, to celebrate and honor the military families. And we want to have a large crowd, just like we did for our very first Center Street Jam when the Clydesdales were there and when the Band of Oz was there. We want a big crowd to show our military how much we support and appreciate them.
There you go.
This Thursday.
Oh boy, that's a lot of fun.
That's
and
right.
how much does it cost to get into the?
0 cents.
What?
0 cents. Free.
0 cents.
That's right.
No sense at all.
You don't have to have any, right?
I hear that a lot. Yeah. All right. Okay. We have. Let's say. Oh yeah. Last week I started the thing about
caffeine.
Caffeine.
Yes.
Yeah, and where caffeine is now being applied in products, surprisingly. Wrigley's. You know who Wrigley's is. Wrigley's has launched Alert caffeinated gum. Caffeinated chewing gum. They did this late last month, promising the equivalent of a half cup of coffee with chewing gum.
Oh, my goodness.
In a single stick now, half cup. Within weeks, it was taken off the shelves due to the FDA's concern about the proliferation of caffeine in the nation's food supply. So the FDA said, well, we can't have this. Now, gum that gives you the jitters is not new. Jolt Gum has sold its energy gum and caffeinated breath mint since '03. Still, if you think normal gum chewers are annoying, just wait till you add caffeine to the mix. Can you imagine that?
That's some fast chewing gum, I bet.
Gotta go.
There you go. Do that one time. Hilarious.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
All
goodness.
Right. Who's up next? Who's on first?
I believe we've got a whole group here.
Okay.
Tuesday. That's right. We've got Jose Martinez, the new Public Works Director.
There you go.
Wayne Memorial Hospital.
All right.
You need to stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Wayne Goldsboro Television. Joining me today is Jose Martinez. He is the new Public Works Director here with the City of Goldsboro. Welcome to the show and welcome to Goldsboro.
Well, thank you very much. It's good to be here.
We are glad to have you here in Goldsboro, but tell me, Jose, where'd you come from? What state or what area did you come from? And give us a little bit of your background.
Okay, well, I bounced around a little bit. I am a Navy family, so my father was in the Navy 29 years. I went to high school here on the coast in Swansboro, and after graduating from high school, I went to NC State and pretty much stayed there ever since. About 18 months ago, before I came here, I went to San Antonio for a job opportunity and be with part of my family from there. And then I missed North Carolina, so I just came back.
So you've got a long history of North Carolina. You said you were at NC State, so you're a big, of course, Wolfpack fan.
Absolutely, go Pack.
Go Pack. So you were at State for a very long period of time. And tell me a little bit about your experience at State and tell me some of the degrees you got there. I hear you have more than one.
Absolutely. Well, when I first went there, I double degreed for a bachelor's. Had a degree, bachelor in environmental engineering and a bachelor's in construction engineering. And then immediately jumped out and started doing work. But when I was out, I wanted to better myself, so I started my master's on a part-time basis and earned a master's in civil engineering. And after I finished that, I was actually going to work on my PhD. And I was working on it, but life happened. I started owning my own company. I was working about 60 hours a week. My kids, I have 4 kids, so they were getting old enough where I like coaching. I like scouts, so I was spending time with them. And I just ran out of time in the day. So
it happens. Life does happen.
So I backed out that PhD and I had a second master's degree. So I actually have 4 engineering degrees from NC State, and 2 of them are masters, 2 of them are bachelors. And right now, I'm actually working part-time, now that I'm not working 60 hours a week again, on my PhD from Texas Tech in engineering management.
So you love education, it sounds like to me.
I like bettering myself. I like learning.
You like learning. Well, we are glad to have you here in Goldsboro at the Public Works Department. Tell me a little more about your family, and so you've got 4 children, and tell me more about bringing them to Goldsboro.
Well, it's been a really good experience here. One of the things I really like about Goldsboro is people within the city, as well residents as city employees, have been very welcoming.
That's always good to hear.
We've been here for about 3 weeks now, and we were in Texas for 18 months, and we've already had more friends, met more people in those 3 weeks here. So the kids have told me over and over how much they love it. And I have 4 kids, 9, 7, 4, and 2, and been married for 13 years. So the family so far has been very positive, and we're just enjoying it. We're enjoying the weather. We're enjoying the pork barbecue. I missed that more than I thought I would.
So you spent a lot of time, like we said, here in North Carolina, and spent your high school years in Swansboro. So you're very familiar with North Carolina and what we have to offer here in our community. So tell me, what can you bring, and what are you planning to bring to the table with Public Works?
Well, with my education, my research, some of the things that I'm used to, I'm trying to bring Public Works a little more efficiency. Now, Public Works has a bunch of great people. All throughout, I've been very impressed with their work ethic and just their upbeat. And the story I like to say is when I was first introduced to everybody and I was going to meeting all of the supervisors, every individual supervisor had their crew, and every crew was laughing and joking and having fun before they went out to work. And that spoke a lot to me. They were in a good mood before they had to really go outside in the weather and perform a hard day's work. So I have great people there, but with my education, my background, of course, I'm very technology based. So I'm trying to bring a little more efficiency to the Public Works. I'm trying to beautify it some. The city, I have some ideas that I've already talked with the city manager about, and he seems all for that. So some of those should hopefully be rolling out within the next month or 2. And overall, I just want to take what Neil did, my predecessor, which is a fantastic job. I've never heard anything bad about him. He's really, sorry for C2C leave from what I can tell. But take what he's done and hopefully improve it a little bit.
That sounds wonderful. Well, you know, I tell people all the time, there are so many people that the only piece of the city of Goldsboro they see are services under you, the services that are provided by Public Works. You know, when you have those services going on throughout our community, that may be the only service you use for the city. And so what those employees do and how they interact with the citizens of Goldsboro is huge. It's very important. And thank goodness on a regular basis we do get calls about how great they are, what a good job they do. So you keep them on their P's and Q's and keep them doing a good job. But tell me the recent proposal that you were given and what you're planning to do with that. I know this happened pretty recent.
For which proposal? There's a bunch of them going on.
A lot of proposals. Well, you've been asked to go out with one of your crews.
Oh.
That proposal.
Okay. No, this was an interesting proposal. I was here probably a week, and one of my gentlemen off the back of a garbage truck came into my office and said, "Sir, do you mind if I come in and speak to you?" I said, "Oh, come on in." And he said, "Well, me and the guys would like to take you out to lunch." And I kind of backed up and said, "All right." He said, "However, we want to do it if you can come and spend the morning with us doing what we do." So actually, in the next few days, I will be out on the back of a truck, and they don't know it yet, but I've ordered a uniform with my name on it, Jose, to be one of the guys. So I do have an NC State look at me fluorescent safety hat that Public Works is very UNC based, so it's already a
very
good.
UNC. They're big Tar Heel fans.
Absolutely. Huh? There's another story I want to say after this, but so I have my reflective hat on, I have my uniform on with my name on it, and I'm gonna show up in the next few days, just in the morning.
So you're doing the job.
I'm doing the job. We'll be on the back of the truck.
If you can talk the talk, you're gonna walk that walk. Huh?
Absolutely. So it was a nice. It was very good because it broke the ice.
Absolutely.
And the guy came in, and I was happy he did it. But once he said it, I always wanted to ride the route just so I can learn more about it, because with my experience, I don't have any garbage experience. No, I never refuse collection. So I wanted to do it just to learn, so I can hopefully improve it that way. My PhD is in systems and system engineering and management, so pretty much optimization.
Right.
So I wanted to do it, and this gave me a great opportunity to hopefully build some rapport with the guys and to learn what they go through on a daily basis.
Right, and see exactly, you're right, see exactly what they do, how it works, what some of the things that may not work quite as efficient, and how you can improve upon that. But more than anything, you're one of the guys that day.
Absolutely.
You're one of the guys. You're doing the job, and you're seeing how they interact with the community. That is fantastic. We want you to come back and tell us how it went, how your experience was, and what you learned from that. So now I hear you have another story you want to tell us about Carolina versus state.
Well, there's a couple things. I'm very state-based, and like I said, Carolina is that Public Works is very blue. And one of the few things I did, I have a nice NC State football picture, panoramic, and I put it on the outside of my door, of my office, over my door, so everybody keeps seeing it. And that's just me showing pride in my school.
Of course.
But what's really happened with it is, with all the Carolina and Duke fans we have there, and most of Carolina, some Duke, I think I'm the only state guy, but guys that guys that might not have come into my office have come into my office shaking their head just to harass me a little bit, but they've done it.
Just open the door to have conversation.
Exactly. I didn't intend it for that, but it's been a fantastic thing, and if I would have to do it again, absolutely I would do it again, just because I've met so many people that wouldn't come to my office otherwise.
You know, the intimidation factor is not there. It opens the door for different conversations, no matter what they are, and it can start building relationships and rapport.
It's fun, though.
With your crew. Of course it is. Yeah.
And it's not even football or basketball season, so I'm curious.
Imagine what's going to happen there.
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, Jose, it's been fantastic getting to know you. We're excited to have you working with the city and looking forward to the continuation of the great things that have been happening down at Public Works and what's going to happen in the future. You know, you have lots of goals, and we're excited to see you continue to build upon what Neil Bartlett has done in the past. So thank you so much for coming to Goldsboro. Thank you for being with us on the show, and we're glad that Jose is going to be with us on a monthly basis to keep us updated on what's happening at Public Works.
Absolutely.
So thank you for being here today, and this is what's happening right here in your city.
Today, our guest in the studio, we're very honored to have our Commission Chairman, Steve Keene. Steve, always great to have you in the studio.
Thank you, Wayne. Thanks for letting me come in this morning and be with you.
You're welcome anytime, sir. Steve, get right to it. I want to ask you about the Commissioners' Assembly that was held last week. Tell me about that, what it is, why we have an assembly, and who was there, and tell me about it.
North Carolina Association of County Commissioners, all 100 counties.
Right.
All the commissioners in those counties belong to this organization, this association, that they lobby for us. They are advocating for what the state needs before the General Assembly. Okay. And right now they're in their session. Bills are flying everywhere. Oh, yeah. And we were asked to go, when this particular period of the year, we go and we get with the association. David Thompson, the director, and we talk to them about our goals that we have set. As we've set our goals about 7 months ago, that the association put together these 5 great goals and said, here, General Assembly, legislators, House and Senate members, we want you to look at these, and when the bills come up, and see if you can help us. And it's lottery funds, it's medical care for inmates and keeping that cost down. The sheriffs are wanting that. They want us to, watch that expense. And there's several items. And of course, we got there and we immediately talked about our goals and where they were in the General Assembly. We spoke to Senator Rucho about tax reform.
Right.
Tom Tillis, House Speaker, came in and spoke to us for 45 minutes and told us what was going on in the House. That crossover was last week where the Senate finishes and gives it over to the House, and now the House is looking at it. Wanted to talk to us individually from our counties of what we felt, how the process was going. They wanted to get our feedback.
Now, let me ask you, see, we are a large state here, and in fact, we're expected to grow to either the 9th or 10th largest state in the country here in the next several years. With 100 counties in place, the needs of the western counties and the needs of the eastern counties may be a little different, simply because of location and population and that sort of thing. How do you feel the needs of Wayne County differ from other parts of the state, or in fact, do they differ, our needs here?
Differ a lot. North Carolina, first of all, is probably the greatest state. I would live nowhere other than North Carolina. Western North Carolina, because of the metropolitan areas, the central Piedmont, you have your education, your colleges, universities, research, and then of course you come this side of 95 and you look at eastern North Carolina with the coast. The road structure is different. The infrastructure, natural gas, roads, interstate quality is different than it is in the east and it is in the west. So when you go to the association, you've got in particular schools wanting to. There are some schools who can't because of their population. There's 60% occupancy, maybe 40% the vacancy, and the schools are diminishing. The kids, they're just, the numbers aren't there. There are Tier 1 counties. They can't afford the schools anymore. So there's 6 or 8 of those counties that come in the western part, and maybe 2 or 3 in the eastern part, says, we would rather not have the schools anymore. We would just focus on curriculum, and can the counties take them over? That's just one thing that came up here a couple of months ago. And I just bring that out because we are different in the rural area than we are in metropolitan areas. So as you get together, all 100 counties, you find out where the priorities are and you work on those priorities. And jobs are a big deal, especially in the metropolitan areas. And in the rural areas, if there's 14, 15, 16% unemployment rate, we're about 8.8, maybe a little shy of 8 point, maybe 5 or 8.5 or 6.
Here in Wayne County?
Yes, and some of, like you go just a little north, Edgecombe and Nash, and if you just get over a little bit, you're getting 13, 14, 15. There's 16% unemployment rates in some of the counties in the state. So jobs are a big deal, and where do those jobs go? So as you look at, you have a chance to network, connect the dots with other counties. You're finding out the numbers of commissioners they have on. You find out their budget, their tax rates, and what are they paying for. And then you go into the General Assembly and you listen to them debate on the floor of, well, lottery funds, the educational lottery funds. And you start thinking, well, I just talked to a guy earlier that was from this county, this commissioner, and he's the chairman, and he's telling me that his unemployment rate is here, his sales tax rate is here, the lottery funds are getting ready to get cut, and then he's going to his state senator, or he's going to his House member. And then you go in that afternoon, Assembly Day, Wednesday, we all went and sat in the Senate, and we sat in the chambers, and we listened to them talk about these lottery funds, and talked about, they were debating. And of course, the Senate passes whatever, and they send it over to the House. And we were apt to go over it was available to us to go over to the House and sit in the gallery and then hear them talk about it. So that's it. So much happens on the state level.
Right.
But here in Wayne County, we got a great county here.
That indeed we do. With agriculture, we're one of the leaders in the state and the country, for that matter, in agriculture.
Yep.
And of course, we have Seymour Johnson Air Force Base here. We're a very strong military community. We're a very strong agriculture community. And these other counties do not have that, are not fortunate enough to have the agriculture community we have, nor the Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, as you find many military bases here in the east. So we are pretty much cut above. We have a lot of opportunity here. We job-wise, we have a lot of things to tell not only the state but the entire country about here in Wayne County. Do you agree?
I agree that Wayne County is geographically, logistically, we are in the right place. You move just a little bit south and you get into Sampson, Lenore, Duplin, and then you look at the contiguous counties. You have Johnston, and then right to the west you have Wake. So you're having that transition over into Wayne County. And then you couple that with the Interstate 795-40 possible connector, and then you look at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. But you still have an unemployment rate that is not way up there. And I know in 08 when I was elected it was like 5.2. Today it's just, we've talked about that. So but you look at the trend, and we're not as bad. But you can't forget that 1 in 4 people in Wayne County were in poverty. 1 in 4. And the only way you can get rid of that 1 in 4 poverty is you've got to create jobs. You've got to get the people working. And until we do that, that poverty rate, it's 1 in 4 in poverty. That's not good. Per capita income since '97 has been reduced each year. Since '97, per capita income. We're just still shy of the state level. We have to understand the logistics, the economic logistics of jobs, and more jobs, and how it affects the medical care and the medical expense, that education. We have to prioritize these. Number one, education and health has to be together. Then we have to look at what the state is doing and how it's moving funds or not moving funds, mandated.
Well, to bring
it's a big picture. It is huge.
To bring jobs to the area, of course, potential new employers bringing industry and business to the community, to Wayne County. They're going to look at education. They're going to look at our colleges and our high schools. They're going to look at our transportation availability, the 795, the new 70 bypass. All these things. We're moving ahead in this area. Where do we need to put the push?
Literacy.
Literacy.
People need to know how to read.
Yeah.
And we've got a great program that we've begun, and we hope that we're trying to implement a bigger way of teaching people, helping people to read. Health assessment is another area.
Yeah.
We would like to, just instead of watching the health care out of control expenses, hey, let's all get together and every citizen in this county, let's lose 3 pounds. Let's just maybe walk 1 day a week instead of no day a week. Let's just maybe put aside fat foods just 1 time a week, and let's become healthier. And then when you become a healthy county, statistically, you get your big corporations, they look and they might be heavily into a labor force, like working in a manufacturing plant. Well, they're going to need healthy people. And if you're not healthy, then you increase their cost. And then they say, well, if we put instead of animation, we put all these people to work, but if the people are not fit, then it's going to cost us. But now what if you go into a county where the health cost, and they see the trends, and they know that these people are very healthy. Now that's the kind of people we want. So they're more apt to look into your area, your region. And you look at the Research Triangle Park, and look how these corporations like SAS take care of their people. I mean, your daycares and your cafeterias and the way you eat and the exercise rooms. And you see a lot of corporations, they're so focused on keeping their people healthy because it's cheaper to keep you healthy than it is to take care of you when you're unhealthy.
Right.
So our health department is really looking at that. Mr. Madden has taken that on. We had that meeting a couple of weeks ago with all the players of the county. We saw that health assessment the commissioners did back in February and said, we probably need to put something together. And we did that. We had all the players at the table about a couple of weeks ago, and we're going to put together an advisory board, and we're going to attack this health issue to get healthier in Wayne County.
All right.
I've got to start.
Boy, I have to. Let me tell you. Yeah.
Well, I always
We'll work on it, okay?
Are we over?
We're out of time. Steve King, our guest today. Thank you.
Always enjoy this.
Chairman of the Wayne
so
County Commissioners with a successful Commissioner Assembly in Raleigh last week, and of course, focused on bringing new business and industry to Wayne County and making Wayne County citizens healthier so that we'll all feel better.
There you go.
There you go. Thanks again.
Yes, sir,
All
Wayne.
right.
God bless. Thank you.
Do you know the signs and symptoms of a stroke? Well, we're here today to find out more about that. With me is Cheryl Dobson. She is a registered nurse at Wayne Memorial Hospital, and she's here to give us all kinds of details and warning signs to prevent having a stroke. Thank you so much for being with us, Cheryl.
Thank you.
We appreciate this information. So there's something special about the month of May.
Yes, May is National Stroke Awareness Month. And here, that's very important for us here in North Carolina and Wayne County because we live in what is called the stroke belt. And what that means is people in our county, our community, in our area are dying at a higher rate than the rest of the country. So we are trying to do things to turn those numbers around.
Why do we think that those numbers are so high in our part of the area?
Well, personally, myself, from doing stroke education and interacting with patients and family members that have had strokes, I think it has a lot to do with our diet. I think it has a lot to do with our sedentary lifestyles. We don't get any exercise, and boy, do we love that bacon and barbecue.
Yes, we do. We love to eat, but we don't like to work it off,
yes,
right?
That's right. That's right.
So what are some of the preventative steps we can take to not have a stroke?
Well, number one, you need to make sure that you do get some exercise. And I tell my patients, it is not required that you have to belong to a gym. Just walking around your house or inside your house or in your neighborhood, getting some exercise, watching your diet. We know that all the time you're not going to eat right, so to speak.
Right.
But you can decrease your salt intake, your sugar intake, and watch your portion size, because keeping your weight down has a lot to do with not just preventing a stroke, but your overall health.
Absolutely. Say someone is feeling some signs that where they just don't feel quite right. What are some of the symptoms that we should watch for in ourselves or in our loved one that we're with or a co-worker in case they were to be having a stroke? What do we watch for?
Right. We teach our patients the FAST mnemonic, which is the letters F-A-S-T. The F stands for face. Usually if someone's having a stroke, the mouth will be twisted. You can ask them to smile, and it'll look abnormal.
Okay.
The A stands for arm. Usually one of the arms will be weak. They'll try to hold an object. They can't. They'll drop it. The S is for speech. You ask a person that's potentially having a stroke or TIA, their speech will be slurred, or they'll make sounds that won't make any kind of sense. And then the last, the T, is for time. Because if you notice a person having one or any of these symptoms at all, they need to call 911 immediately. Because stroke symptoms and a stroke is a medical emergency. And what a lot of people don't understand is they need to call 911 and get EMS involved, because the quicker that person gets help, the better the outcome will be for that person. It can be the difference between living with a little bit of numbness in your left or right arm, or having a permanent disability, or even death.
Oh my
So
goodness.
it's very
so
important.
it's very time sensitive.
Yes, yes.
So call 911 immediately.
Right. And they're also, depending on how soon a person with a stroke gets to EMS, there's a drug that can be given. It is called TPA. Within 3.5 hours from the time they first had their stroke symptoms, that can greatly decrease their symptoms or disabilities from a stroke. And in some cases, it can even resolve it totally and not have any problems afterwards.
So absolutely, it is of utmost importance. Call 911 immediately.
Yes.
911. I need to add that second one on there.
Yeah,
911.
yes.
If you see anyone having these type symptoms, so they can get the help they need to possibly alleviate any of these issues.
And we tell our patients, we want them to recognize this and know this, because not just for you, for your family members, but just say you're at church.
Exactly.
Or you're at the movies, or you're at the grocery store, or Walmart, and you can call for someone else and can greatly decrease the amount of problems that person would have
It's
afterwards.
amazing what a little information can do.
It
Wow. Well, tell me about the support group that you all have at Wayne Memorial Hospital now for stroke victims and their families.
We have a stroke support group. It is held the 4th Thursday of the even month. So that means like the 2nd month, 4th month, 6th month, and so on. It is at 5 o'clock in the afternoons. It is held in the auditorium of Wayne Memorial Hospital. You do not have to pay to come. You don't have to register. You can call for more information, but you don't have to register to come. We have a light meal at the meetings, and usually we'll talk about a topic, something similar to like we're talking now,
right.
about stroke prevention, and it's usually patients and family members that have suffered a stroke. They come. They share their stories. They share things that have helped them to overcome, and we also talk about things that will help prevent you from having a stroke.
So anybody can attend, even a person who's never had a stroke, but maybe just wants to be more educated and more informed about how to prevent a stroke with themselves and their loved ones. But also I can see where it would be of great benefit for those who have had a stroke.
Right.
And their significant other or their family members to come with them to learn about the care of stroke victims and learn from one another, those that have been through it before.
And did I mention we have food?
She has food.
We do have a light meal at the meeting.
Yes,
so if you're just getting off work or you have an appointment, haven't had time to catch something to eat, come to the meeting. We'll feed you.
That sounds great. Tell people how's the best way to access the auditorium.
Come in the service entrance, around by the pass by the cafeteria, and it's on the back side where AHEC or rehab is.
Exactly.
You can park in that parking lot. You don't have to pay the park. And when you come into the back doors, the back entrance, the auditorium is right there to the right.
Wonderful.
So it's closer to come in that way.
It really
you
is.
Come in through the lobby or the front entrance, but you'll have a longer walk.
Right. Even though we encourage walking.
Yes. If you want to get some exercise before you come in that way.
That's exactly right. Well, thank you, Cheryl, so much for coming. Remember, May is National Stroke Awareness Month. We want our community to be very informed about how to prevent strokes and the signs of strokes, so you can help yourself or you can help others. We appreciate you coming in and sharing the information. If you want to find out more about the stroke support group, give Cheryl a call. If you'll tell them that number one more time.
It is 919-731-6830. And if you can't remember that number, there's always the hospital switchboard, and they will direct you in the right direction.
There you go. Thank you so much for being with us, and this is what's happening at Wayne Memorial Hospital.
And we're back. Interesting program.
Absolutely.
Lots of great information. All right, today is the 28th. All right, it's Tuesday, right?
All day long.
All day long. Yesterday, Memorial Day, we had a repeat program, and thank you for watching that one, and I hope you're watching this one. And if you're not watching this one, there you go.
You're not learning about your community, what's
That's
happening.
exactly right. Yes, right. Okay. Today, the 28th, today is Sierra Club Day.
Oh, how about that?
How about that? Today is also the Slugs Return to Capistrano Day.
Yeah, once again, where do you find these things,
Well,
Wayne?
they just appear out of nowhere. And I'm not making these things up. These are real things. Birthdays today. Today, the 28th, one of my favorite entertainers, Gladys Knight.
Oh,
Gladys Knight. The lovely lady is 68 years today, and she's been entertaining since she was about that tall.
Well, you know, my goodness, wasn't it yesterday that it was, not Aretha Franklin, who was it?
Oh,
Patti LaBelle? No.
Friday was Patti LaBelle's birthday, yeah.
How about that?
And
Two
today,
Motown
the
ladies.
28th, is Gladys Knight, love her. She's 68 years today. And she did actually hear it through the grapevine.
Did she?
Mm-hmm.
You're so good.
Anyway, also a birthday today for Kylie Minogue. She's 44 today. Michael Oher.
Michael Orr, that name sounds familiar. How do we know Michael?
You know Michael because he was a football star.
Oh, that's
He was
right.
the offensive lineman whose life was made into a movie called The Blind Side.
That's right.
What a
That's
great movie
right.
that was.
Uh-huh.
Jerry West was a pro basketball star. He's 74 years today. He's an NBA Hall of Famer. And the only reason I mentioned this today was because his is the silhouette that you see when you see the NBA logo.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's Jerry
him.
West. That's him, and he won the MVP of the finals despite losing to the Celtics some years ago. He's 74. John Fogerty, oh yeah, Blue Ridge Rangers and CCR, Creedence Clearwater Revival. Later pursued a solo career as a very talented guy. He's 67 years today. Can you believe that? The lovely and talented Elizabeth Hasselbeck is 35 years today. Co-host of The View, along with those other people.
And you know she got her start on the show Survivor. Just saying.
She did?
Yeah, that's how she was discovered.
You know, I need to watch some of these reality things.
You got to stay awake.
Oh, well, now that's, I'm sorry.
That's okay, Wayne.
Like the guy said, and this is not the way I talk, ain't no way.
That's not,
Okay, maybe I do talk like that, but I don't recommend talking like that.
neither do I.
Neither do I. All right, let's see what else we have. What do you have?
Well, let's see. This weekend,
That's
We got-
this weekend.
yes, it is. We have so many things happening. June 1st, June 2nd. Think about it. Saturday, June 1st, we have Paddle the Noose or Cruise the Noose. That's
In
happening.
your canoes.
Yes, in your canoes.
Cruise the noose in your canoes.
That's Saturday.
I like that.
And on Saturday, we also have a huge festival happening in Herman Park. It's called the Born Learning Young Children's
Oh,
Festival.
yeah, that's this weekend.
That's this weekend.
Okay.
Saturday, June 1st. United Way is the one who funds that through the Partnership for Children.
Right.
And that's for families of young children, birth to age 5. Older children are also welcome.
Okay.
Man, that's a great day.
Yeah.
All kinds of people in Herman Park. And then on Sunday is Sunday in the Park. So Herman Park's going to be booming this weekend.
Wow. That's the place to be.
It certainly is.
I'm
They have
telling
music.
you.
The farmers market will be there. They have local children that'll be performing. All kinds of things
And when
happening.
did they turn us loose with our canoes at the noose?
Saturday, June the 1st.
Oh, okay.
You just like saying
I
that.
like saying that,
Yes,
yes.
you do.
Okay. Let's see what else we have here. Do die.
Oh.
What's in a name?
What is in a name? Well, we want to hear from you. The City of Goldsboro is looking at a new slogan or motto. Have you got the phrase that pays?
Hey, that's good.
Well, let's see if you do. You can go to the City of Goldsboro's website, goldsboronc.gov, click on What's in a Name.
What's in a name? I'm sorry, I was late.
Do that again.
I was late. What's in a name?
You got to keep them on the
Oh,
ball.
I
here.
know.
But
What's
we
in a
want to
name?
hear
What's in a
from
name?
you and
That's right.
see what you think would be the best slogan or motto to go with the City of Goldsboro.
There
So it'll
you
be
go.
the City of Goldsboro. Do it with me. Da 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 da.
Oh, what?
The City of Goldsboro.
Right.
Da 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 da.
I got it.
We don't want the da 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 da. We want to hear your slogan.
Oh, so leave the da-da-da-da out?
And you be creative. Submit what you think would go the best for the City of Goldsboro's new slogan or motto. Go to our
What's in a
website, goldsboronc.gov, click on it, fill out your information, think creative, think different, think memorable.
Be creatively different.
There you go. Or you can walk in the front doors of City Hall and pick up an application right there.
You know, I've talked to some people who have made submissions in the
Lots
What's in a
of
Name
people have.
contest. A lot of people have, and some of them are really, really good.
We've seen some great ones coming through the doors.
I'm telling you, but you know what? You could also apply and make a submission of your own.
That's right. The contest goes through June 30th.
That's right, through the end of the month.
That's right. Long list of prizes.
Yeah, because if you wait until June 32nd, you're out of luck, buddy, let me tell you.
If you hear of a June 32nd, give me a call, because there's the problem there.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, it's easy to apply and submit.
That's exactly right.
How do you do that?
Well, for the second time, go to the City of Goldsboro's website, goldsboronc.gov. Look for What's in a Name. Sorry, Wayne. Look for What's in a Name. Click on it. You'll be at the submission page.
Okay.
Put your best motto there.
Look, I take naps.
Do
okay?
you?
Just go ahead.
But we want to hear from you. And you can win a long list of prizes. 20 people will win. Then it's narrowed down to 5. Then the big final winner will get all their prize packages on the steps of City Hall at the Lights Up Downtown
Oh, boy.
this fall. That's
One
right.
of those prizes includes appearing on this program.
Yes, it does. You'll come on this program and tell us, where did you come up with that creative idea?
Yes, what inspired you to come up
That's
with
exactly right. The winning motto.
the winning motto?
The phrase that pays.
The phrase that pays the winning motto.
Yes.
Yes.
Moving on.
Okay, moving on here. You know, last week was Small Business Week
Yes,
here in
it
Wayne
was.
County. Boy,
That went over great, didn't it?
Great. All right, what do you... Oh,
You want to talk about that?
sure, why not? I'll talk about Shop the Block.
Something that has not passed.
Well, I knew that was last week.
Yeah, it was great.
But it was good. It was a good thing. Shop the Block is sponsored by a lot of people, including Downtown Goldsboro Development Corporation, DGDC. Shop the Block, Downtown Goldsboro. Shop and dine
On June 7th.
on June 7th. That's what I was going to say there in Downtown Goldsboro. On June 7th, Shop and Dine Downtown support local small businesses. Shop at participating businesses and enter to win $100 in downtown dollars. You may even be rewarded on the spot if you're caught spending money downtown. Oh, yeah.
So how about that? Now, you
How
could
about
be
that?
eating in a restaurant downtown on June 7th or already shopping in one of the local stores and someone may walk up to you and say, here's $100, additional $100 that you can spend downtown just because you're already here.
In downtown Dallas. Now, this is going on all day June 7th.
That's right.
Which is in the month of June.
You think?
Yeah. So,
shop the block.
Shop the block. Downtown Goldsboro, win $100. You may even be rewarded $100 in downtown. What's a downtown dollar?
That's dollars that you can only spend downtown.
There you go. There you go. Okay, $100.
$100.
Wow.
Just for being there and shopping.
Just for being there. So we have Shop the Block. What's in there? There's a lot of stuff going on.
I mean, we're a busy town.
Take your
busy
canoes
community.
to the noose. Set yourself loose.
On June 1st.
On June the Woose. What? First?
He can't make it all right.
I can't help it.
He's trying.
I'm trying. Okay. Okay. What else is going on?
Well, let's see. You know downtown Goldsboro, the DGDC,
Heard of it.
has moved into its new building.
They have a new building?
They do.
Oh, boy.
Well, let me tell you, if you've not gone on the internet and looked at the building or stopped by to get a tour, you should do so. Because they are now offering to the community, they have a large boardroom upstairs, and it's like a meeting space, and they're offering this space for use to the community. They have very small prices for you to rent it. Oh, there you go. So, we'll.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say something about the word use.
Yes, and the noose.
And the noose. Turn them loose on the noose with your canoes. Make good use.
Oh my
anyway, go ahead. I'll work on that.
All right, so back to just moving on. All right, let's see.
Look, the producer's making faces at us. What is she trying to tell us?
Yeah, we got to cut this.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Hope you've enjoyed today's show. Hope you've learned something that's happening right here locally in your community.
You're still awake.
Me too.
So join us again every day here, Monday through Friday, every day on WGTV, Wayne Goldsboro Television. And until the next time we're here, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best, and this is what's happening in your community.